Hi, I'm Heather from Frugal Renewal. Welcome to our channel. So I have a confession to make. I've been working really hard this summer on kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, sunroom, all kinds of different renos, getting things ready for the next projects. And I got to the point where I was exhausted, and for a few days I could do literally nothing besides laze around, read books, nap, and I burnt out. It was renovation fatigue. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. How can we combat it? So I started doing some research. What can I do to overcome or to prevent renovation fatigue? And these are the 10 tips that work for me or that I found in my research that I'm going to try. So tip number 1 is to set realistic expectations, to maintain a positive attitude, and to enjoy the journey. And frankly, life is a journey, and it's not all about the destination. We have to enjoy the journey. Not everything has to be done yesterday, even though that seems to be the way that I'm wired. And I know that if I try to rush something or force something to happen, I tend to be less content with the result. And then I get frustrated with myself and disappointed in how things turn out. So definitely, I think I need to adjust my expectations. Tip number 2 is to take before and after photos to celebrate your progress. I'm so focused on moving forward and on what's coming next that I forget to look back and celebrate the progress and the successes that I've made. And a friend of mine has reminded me that it's important to think back on how far you've come. So in almost 2 years, we've made a ton of progress in our house. We've done major things, taking down walls and replacing kitchens and putting in all new flooring and putting in windows and doors and building a deck and re-landscaping and working on finishing rooms. And we've done so much, but I keep focusing on what more has to happen, and that I get lost in that instead of looking back and saying, hey, look how far we've come. So I know that's been a really good reminder for me. Tip number 3, share your adventures with others. And for me, that's been on social media because of COVID, emails and Facebook groups and this YouTube channel, but also having in-person guests, people who also know how much work it is to renovate a home and to update it and have a family and a job at the same time, and so who can encourage you along the way. And that's been really helpful to me, having friends and family encouraging the progress that we've made and liking the results that we've done. And I know the most important thing is that I like it and that our family likes it, but it certainly helps in terms of encouragement and support to have other people appreciate what you're doing too. Tip number 4 is to focus on one room or project as a series of small steps, and checklists can help. As a teacher, I know that breaking things down for students into steps that are less overwhelming, we call it chunking, is a super successful strategy, and it really helps people. So when you're giving a test, you only give them one question or one page at a time. When you have a project, you have set due dates for different parts of it so that they don't get lost and fall behind and then get overwhelmed. So for the master bedroom, it was about 80% done. I had 20% left to go, made a checklist, and I made a video about that last week and about how successful that was for me and how this punch list idea or checklist idea really helped motivate me and keep me going. Except that I tried to do too much in those 4 or 5 days, and I was pretty fried at the end of that. Tip number 5, hire someone or recruit a friend to help with the task that you keep putting off. I tend to avoid or ignore something if I'm truly feeling overwhelmed, and I have to remember that I don't have to do it alone. I can hire somebody to help me do something that's just too big for me. Electrical, plumbing, dare I say taxes. It's too overwhelming and I just want to run away and not do it. So in life, it's helpful to either recruit a friend or hire someone to help along the way. Tip number 6 is to create a deadline by hosting an event. It's amazing how motivated not just I get, but everyone in my family gets when we're cleaning up for hosting someone. So basements all of a sudden magically get picked up. Yard things get put away. It's fabulous to have that man-made or self-created deadline to really get everybody supporting the progress and really get everybody back on track. it's fun to have people over. And isn't that what our houses are supposed to be about? It's not just about the things and the projects, but it's supposed to be the experiences we have when we're in them and the people that we share them with. Tip number 7 is to tackle a small project to feel a sense of accomplishment. Sometimes burnout or fatigue happens because it's just too daunting, it's too overwhelming, and we haven't felt a sense of accomplishment for a while. So maybe we need to clean up a room to feel a sense of accomplishment, to reset, to tackle the next steps. Or maybe we need to change gears and tackle something completely different, something that just really weighs on us. Sometimes it's important to get some of those things knocked off. And sure, it might not have anything to do with the reno, but it's important that in the journey of life that some of those things get taken care of and taken off of your task list too, because that task list, it never shrinks. Even when we check things off, we're always adding more things to them. Tip number 8, seek moral support. A listening ear makes all the difference. And friends, family, a spouse or partner, an evening out, just having someone to listen to you, voice your concerns, problem solve, think through a situation. So having that person who will listen. And it's not about solving the problem for you. It's not even about getting a rant out of your system. It's about being heard. And I know for me, I've had some friends that have just listened, and that's made all the difference. Tip number 9 is to take a break. And that's what I'm doing here. I was pretty fried. I took a break this week. I went away with some friends to a winery tour. I've come camping with my son and his friends. And I think taking a break, stepping away from all the reno projects that are happening at my house is just really going to help me refocus, recharge, maybe look at things with a fresh perspective and a fresh set of eyes and not be so exhausted by all the projects that we have hanging over us. So I think taking a break is really, really important for everyone to remember. And tip number 10 is something that we learned from an occupational therapist. So when our son with his chronic health problems was in treatment at a pediatric program, his occupational therapist, his mantra was planning and pacing, planning and pacing. And that's something that just really stuck with all of us and has really resonated with me too. So setting general weekly goals, scheduling breaks, making sure to take time to recharge, to rest, and not just going full tilt just because I want to get something done. I'm going to have to do better at that because I'm going back to work in September teaching too, and I can't do it all. I can't do it all at this pace. It's too much, and when mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, right? Mama's got to find some balance. So these are all notes to self, and hopefully they'll help you too. I'm going to go back to enjoying my break, and I hope that these 10 tips and strategies that I've researched or that I've tried myself help you, and I'm going to rework my plan for the next renovation projects at our place. So that's what I've learned, and I hope it's helped you too. I hope that you have a good week, and until next time, take care.